Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a little bit of a chat about a new product which is coming out in Japan that looks awesome. What we've got is it's all to do with that Stellar Miracle set I showed you the other day, and we've got the Scarlet and Violet Deck Build Box Stellar Miracle. And this is an extremely cool product, which I think a lot of people are going to get rather excited about. It's one of those ones where, if you're not playing over in Japan, there is an argument that it's not amazing. For collectors over in the West, there is a strong argument that you can look at this and go, well, maybe it's not for me. And you know what? Yeah, maybe it's not for you, and that's okay. But it is an extremely cool product. I'm certainly going to be importing it like I import all these kind of products. And certainly for players over in Japan, this is, I think the parlance is, a little bit busted. Now, it's coming out on the 19th of July, which you might recognize is the exact same date that we see for Stellar Miracle. And it's retailing for 4,200 yen, which is not the cheapest thing ever. I'm still going to go for it. But 4,200 yen, now we are of course benefiting from a weak yen right now, but I'm going to be paying somewhere in the region of £21. In the US, it's going to be about $27. This is a kind of product where if we get it in the West, we will absolutely go for it. But as far as I can tell, we don't have any exclusive promos here. What we've got is 171 cards. There's 52 types in total, 16 Pokémon, 53 trainers, 6 special energy, and 96 basic energy. So of those 171 cards, more than half are basic energy. 96 basic energy, 75 other. You also get a card storage box, 4 card dividers, and a V-Star marker. Yeah, that's right. A V-Star marker. Not because there's going to be any V-Stars in the set, they've not given us any for the moment, but because, you know what, maybe you're going to need a V-Star marker at some point. V-Stars are still a thing. I got told by a judge a while ago that you have to have a V-Star marker, even if you're not playing any V-Stars in your deck, because it's just a requirement nowadays. Everybody's got to have one. So, what are we getting in this set and what's so cool? If it's not an exclusive promo, what is it? Well, first of all, you get a bunch of packs. There are a bunch of packs of Stellar Miracle. And look, I showed you all this yesterday, hopefully. Hopefully this comes out that I've shown you yesterday. It is a great set. Already a great set. Terrapagos looks amazing because it can do, well, it's got 2 attacks. One does 30 damage for each of your bench Pokemon, but you can't use it on your first turn, even if you go second. And the other is free energy, 180, and you don't take damage from basic non-colorless Pokemon next turn. It's ridiculous. But then I've done videos going over these cards. I'll link them in the description. There's 2 that really go for everything nicely. But you've got Fan Rotom that searches out free colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less. And, really important, because it is a card that says once during your turn you may, rather than on play, it means you can actually search this out with Buddy Buddy Poffin and then use it because this has 70 or less HP, which is redonk. But then you got stuff like Knocked Owl. When you evolve into it, you get to search for any 2 trainer cards, which is silly. We've got Area Zero Depths, a new stadium, and lets you have 8 bench Pokemon. And let's not forget Crispin, who lets you search for 2 energy of different types. 1 gets attached and 1 goes into your hand. Oh, and an A-Spec that reduces the cost of terrestrial Pokemon's attacks by a single energy of any type. There's a lot to get excited about. And you get yourself a bunch of packs. It's a cool reason, don't get me wrong, right? If you're buying packs, you can find them cheaper, okay? You can get them a little bit cheaper somewhere else. But you still get 10 packs of Stellar Miracle. And honestly, getting 10 packs of Stellar Miracle is pretty cool. It's not a box, you ain't getting a box, but you are getting a decent amount of them. And that's quite nice. When you get these pre-built decks, it's always a little bit sad if you just get the decks. It's always nice to get something else a little bit more. So that's rather lovely. So what more do you get? Like you say, you got the storage box and the dividers, which I don't think are going to be convincing many people to buy them. But then you get yourself a whole bunch of other cards. But first, I want to focus on the basic energy. Yeah, that's right, the basic energy. There is a new design. We all play a lot of the Pokemon TCG, or at least a lot of us do, I certainly do. Choosing which basic energy you go for is a pretty big decision. And these just look cool. They've got that terror effect behind them, but it is a brand new design of basic energy. And look, I know it's quite similar to what we've had before, okay? I know it's not groundbreaking. Not sure entirely how you make it groundbreaking. You put Pokemon pictures on. We've done that before. It was cool. But the point is, we've got enough here to go, you know what? That's kind of nice, and I like it. It's largely the Scarlet and Violet era energy terrestrialized, but it's still very, very cool. And it's a new and exciting design. There are going to be a bunch of people that are picking up this product so that they can get the new design of basic energy. And I think that's just neat. But then you get a bunch of playable cards, and this is where the set really comes into its own, where this box, where this product, call it what you will, really goes from, oh, that's cool, to, oh, that's cool. Because they're not being shy about giving you incredibly good playable cards. So, for instance, we got 3 Radiant Pokemon getting reprinted in here. We've got Radiant Greninja. That's the one that lets you discard an energy card from your hand and draw 2. It's great and has seen a huge amount of play, as well as having an attack that can do 90 to 2 Pokemon. It's great. It's seen a lot of play. But then you've also got Radiant Charizard, the one that does big damage and gets cheaper every time your opponent takes a prize. It's the other one. These are the 2 best Radiant Pokemon, let's be clear. Hands down, these have been the 2 best. But then you also get Radiant Alakazam. It's not been as good, but, you know, we just saw it on stream at the Bologna special event this weekend. Make no mistake about it, Radiant Alakazam is good. It's not as good as the other 2, but these are 3 very strong Pokemon. We've got the Mew from 151. It is a card that, I mean, it's one of these cards with just almost endless utility. It's got free retreat, that's good. And it's got an ability that lets you draw until you've got 3 cards in your hand. That's good. And it's got an attack that, for colorless energy, meaning it can fit into any deck, lets you copy an attack of your opponent's active Pokemon. It's phenomenal. It fits into a whole bunch of decks. And then we've got Pidgeot. You know, the one with quick search? The one that lets you search for any card you like during your turn? Yeah, Pidgeot's in here as well. And at this stage, you might be starting to sense a little bit of a theme. All of these cards, they're not deck specific. You know, when I give you my buy list for every set, and I don't give you the main attackers, because my theory generally is, if you're going to play a deck, you're going to go buy the main attackers. Do you really want to buy the main attackers for every possible deck? I personally don't. I want to buy all the support ones, so when I decide what deck I'm playing, I can pick up a couple of attackers and I'm off and rolling. That's what this is. It's giving you a bunch of utility cards that are fitting into a bunch of different decks and letting you go nuts with them. I said it before and I'll happily say it again, this product is ridiculously good. And then we've got a bunch of trainer cards. Now, I actually mentioned Crispin a minute ago. That is the one card from Stellar Miracle, which they are popping in here, which is really rather lovely. But then it's just a bunch of other stuff. That Buddy Buddy Poffin I mentioned. Yeah. Search out your basics. It's really good. That's in there. We got INO, which is basically a staple in every deck right now. Makes both players shovel the hand and put them on the bottom of their deck. And then you draw cards equal to your remaining prizes. Also from that same set, we've got Luminous Energy, which counts as any energy as long as it's the only special energy attached. That sees play in a bunch of decks. And of course, another supporter card, which is absolutely ubiquitous, is Boss's Orders. And you've got the Getsis version of Boss's Orders in here as well. And Forest Sealstone. The best of those tool cards that give you V-Star powers. Yeah, that one gets in there as well. It is phenomenal. It's kind of a bit like our trainer's toolkit in a way. It's basically just giving you a bunch of different options so that when you're building your deck, you've got all the support cards you need, and I think this is a great way to do it, and I'm a huge fan. But I've told you about it now. Also, new basic energy design. That is underrated, how much people like that. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.